Hello, I'm Kathy Bissell. Welcome to the Golf Show. This week we're intercontinental. We have a guest from South Africa. Gary, why don't you introduce him?
No, it's not Gary Player, but it's the next closest thing we could get. He's Andrew Georgiou. He's played many tours around the world. He's currently got his amateur status back and is playing some good amateur golf in South Africa. And he's got a really cool app that I discovered and wrote about a year or two ago called Golf Played, Played. Basically, it's a way to figure out how many golf courses you've played around the world. So if nothing else, and there's a lot more to the app, which we'll get into, but if nothing else, it's a great directory of every golf course in the world, more or less. And the thing that sucks you in, there's a map of the world, and they put a red flag at each course you've played. And once you see that, you're like, okay, now I'm in. But anyways, Andrew, tell us how this idea started and where you are now. I mean, I know you had about 30,000 members when I joined a few years ago, and I think you've doubled that. But how did this idea start?
Well, thank you, Gary, for that introduction, and thank you, Kathy, for having me. I appreciate it.
Sure.
I am calling in from Cape Town, South Africa, and this is where I grew up. Fortunate enough to come over to the States on a golf scholarship. Played at Columbus State in Georgia.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That was great, loved it. After playing college golf, turned professional. Played every tour under the sun. Played the Hooters Tour, the Tar Heel Tour, the Peach State Tour, the Canadian Tour, the European Tour, you name it. And while doing that, I always said to myself, I want to be contending at the highest level. I want to be on the PGA Tour by the age of 30. And if not, then there's easier ways to make money. So that happened pretty quick. I was a pro for 9 years. I turned pro when I was 23. Time flew. I loved being a pro. My best achievement, I got to play in the Open Championship at Royal Lytham in 2012. Got to play with Rory, got to play with Ernie. It's just really, really special. And what I loved about playing and traveling was I got to meet so many cool people, got to play so many amazing golf courses. And during one particular trip, trying to save a bit of cash, I would stay with a host family most of the times when I traveled. And this particular host was a golf nut, loved his golf. And he asked me, he said, Andrew, well, you've played golf all over the world. That's amazing. How many courses have you played? And I had no idea. I was like, that is a great question. Well, then he said to me, he's like, well, where have you got to play? And that was a great question. I said, well, I've got to play some great golf courses, Pebble Beach, Cypress Point, Medina. Being in Georgia, I got to play Augusta. And I was like, actually, this is really cool. And then I said, well, Ian, how many courses have you played? And he said 187, pulled out a spreadsheet, showed me every single course. And I was like, that is incredible. And then he said, well, you're here for a week. He's like, figure out your number. And after that, I was quite intrigued. Started making a list on my iPhone, kind of went from what I could remember, all the best that I played, got to about 100 or so. And then I got stuck. I was like, what is that course called in North Carolina? And what is that course called? And just couldn't remember. And then I decided, well, there must be an easier way to do this. Went to the app store, kind of searched around, courses played, wherever I played, golf played, nothing existed. It was all about kind of stats and GPS and score and handicap, and none of that really bothered or interested me too much. And then I said, okay, well, there must be an opportunity. And this was in 2017. Came back home, said to my dad, who has always been a big supporter of mine, and I said, I love playing golf. I love what I'm doing. I said, I don't want to get out of the golf industry. And how many courses have you played? And he was like, well, I don't know. I said, well, one of my friends asked me that question. I'm hooked. I don't know how many I've played, and I think we should develop an app to help people keep track of where they played. And the nice thing about it is when people download the app, they put their profile in there, they say what course they belong to, and we have now been able to grow a database of 60,000 users and growing. So doubled since we last chatted, Gary. And we've got 3,500 golf courses with unique members. And our whole goal now is to say, well, where would you like to play? And then we can make introductions and get you onto courses that you wouldn't have access to. So that's where we are at.
Fascinating.
Well, I thought maybe you were going to turn into Twitter for golfers, because you can like other people's posts, you can send messages back and forth.
Okay.
And it may be because I don't know a lot of those other guys. I mean, I haven't availed myself of that, and I'm guessing maybe a lot of those guys didn't either. But it really could be Twitter for golfers, and there's so much you can do with
Combination of
that, but you
Twitter
got to get
and
golfers to
LinkedIn.
use them.
Yep. That's the whole thing, is we want to be the best networking membership or networking app out there for golf. Guys travel and go on golf trips all the time. And if you want to play a golf course, you request to play there. The request comes to our concierge team, and we say, okay, well, if you're in this area, Gary's a member of this course. Let's connect you. And if you're in Cape Town, you want to play my golf course, we connect you. It's all about connections.
So how many golf courses have you played, Andrew?
I just played a new golf course on Monday called Shelley Point, and I'm up to 435 clubs. So nowhere near to what Gary's played, but I'm excited about that number.
Gary, how many have you played now?
I'm within a couple of 1,500. So, and there was a guy ahead of me at 1,509, I think. So I thought maybe I can catch him by the end of this year. We'll see.
You got to get on it.
I got to get on it. People should be aware. It costs nothing to join this. It's free. You just go to the app, you sign up, create a profile. I like the part where it asks you if you're an amateur, or if you're a pro/celebrity. It's like, well, I'm not a pro, but I'm definitely going to pretend to be a celebrity. I love that option. So it's free. It is free. And Andrew, you're starting this new program. Let's talk about that briefly before we talk about some of these other guys with the crazy numbers.
Yeah.
A new program whereby you can get a lifetime membership, or there's going to be a limited number of these. What are the options? And these are some ways to monetize it for you, but then it's ways for golfers like me to, weasel my way onto Olympic Club or Ballybunion or wherever you have a member. Tell us a little about the lifetime membership deal.
So you actually mentioned on something else, which I'll give you a little of a confidential inside scoop.
Okay.
The reason why we asked you what type of profile you are, if you're a pro, if you're a celebrity, is we're able to segment our database. And in the new versions of the app, we're going to let you search for golfers nearby. And you'll be able to search for celebrities or professional golfers. And not only will you be able to request a round to play at different golf courses, but you'll be able to request to play with certain people. And, every golfer has got a price. And you know what, if I used to be a pro, or I'm a pro and I want to charge you $100 to play with me, well, go for it. If you're Tiger Woods and you want to play 10 grand to play with Tiger, well, go for it. So the requesting around, it grows. It's not just about where you played, but it's who you played with. So that's just a little kind of exciting stuff that's coming. And
so
what we're doing now.
In my case, I'm going to actually have to pay these people to play with me, because nobody's gonna ask me. I'm going to actually have to pay them, right? I can see where that's going.
Gary, I will play with you with pleasure.
Well, it's a good idea for people who want to do a celebrity or an athlete type pro-am to raise money for a cause in their area. I mean, it's not just that you want to meet the person, which you might want to, but there might be a good cause that you're trying to figure out how to support. And that's one way you can do it.
Spot on. Kathy, that's exactly right. Another thing we do on the app is you can put a golf course on your bucket list. And then what we're doing is we're building in an events feature. So as soon as there's an event at a certain golf course that you put on your bucket list, you'll get a notification to say, Gary, there's a charity event at Olympic. Here's your opportunity if you'd like to play. You can enter through the app. So
that's great.
The more data we get, the more we can network and use it. And Gary, to come back to your question, this has all been free up to this point. The app is now going into its 5th year. It's required tons and tons of hard work. We've raised cash. Got some awesome investors and some followers. And what we're doing now is we're trying to monetize the platform. The app will always be free. So if you have downloaded and you want to keep track of your courses, go wild. No worries there. But as soon as you want to request to play with someone, then we're going to say, okay, well, you need to be a member of the app. We've got 3 tiers of membership. We've got a green membership, a silver membership, and a gold membership. And basically how this works is it's going to work on a round credit system. So in order for this thing to work is people need to be rewarded for hosting people. Otherwise, it's just going to be, okay, I'm a member at a nice course. It's going to get old. Just host. Of course, you can make yourself private or public, so you don't receive hosts if you don't want to, requests. But in this case, you will receive a credit to host someone. And if you host 3 players, then you're going to give 3 credits. And then in order to go play a different golf course, it'll cost you 1 credit. For our tier 3 golf courses, it'll cost you 2 credits for tier 2 golf courses. And then for our top tier, which is our tier 1 golf courses, you need to be a gold member, which is our primary membership. And these are all annual memberships, various pricing, which you can check on our golfplay.com website. And I'm very excited to say that with the launch of these new features, these are all going to be launched in our 2024 new version of the app. We are now running a very special limited edition gold lifetime membership, where we have 100 available, and these are lifetime. They cost $1,000 upfront. You never have to pay another cent again, and you get full access to the entire system, the database. You can request to play as many golf courses as you want, and these are also going to be resellable. So once you own it, it's only going to increase in value, and we are extremely excited to launch this. So that just launched now, just last week.
Well, great. Have you done the payment is it in South African money, US dollars? What,
USD, baby.
Huh?
It's in USD. We love the dollar. Oh, we lost Gary.
Oh, we lost Gary. We'll get him back in a second. He was in his car and on his way back from or going to a golf course. So people will pay in dollars, and they can pick one of these memberships, and that will allow them to be connected to the elite golf courses that your members happen to have, right?
Spot on. And I'll send you a link, and you can click below, and you'll see the details and all that good stuff.
I did look at the site, and I may have downloaded the app like 2 phones ago or something, but it's not on my current phone. And I was looking at it seemed to me that Dennis Paulson or somebody was on there for 600 or 700 different courses, and there was one guy I thought that had like, it seemed like 6,000, but that seems an overreach. So who's the guy with the most courses played?
That is a gentleman called Daryl Boa.
Okay.
He lives in just outside Greenville, South Carolina.
Okay.
I met Daryl, and I actually played with him golf for the first time about a month back. He's a member at a golf course called Musgrove Mill, and David has played. Daryl has played 2,320 odd golf courses, with the goal to hit 3,000 in the next couple of years or decade or so. So he is our number 1 user. Daryl, shout out to you.
Is he? You don't know if he's retired or anything like that?
He is still working.
Wow.
And
how does he do that? Well, that's how he
gets
goes
in his car, takes his clubs, and he just goes. And if he's got a spare afternoon, he's playing golf.
That's right. Well, the only problem with playing golf is that sometimes it's dark and you can't play. So that slows people down. Now,
that's golf nuts. If it's sunny up until 9 p.m. at night, just try and get it in.
We get that in the northern part of the United States. It'll be light until almost 10 o'clock. Some places, Minnesota and northern Michigan and Wisconsin, and I guess the Dakotas. I've never been to the Dakotas, Idaho, maybe parts of Washington. But I've only been to the Seattle part of Washington and Tacoma and wherever Chambers Bay is.
That's it. Yeah, Washington
west
State.
Of Seattle. So I've been to a few places, but most of the places I've been to are where they've been holding golf tournaments.
Do you play golf yourself, Kathy? How many have you played?
I have not played lately because I had knee problems. And so I just haven't. I used to. I didn't play a lot, but I used to work for a golf developer in California, and
Okay.
I worked for the people that created the PGA West complex,
Awesome.
and that created the ocean course at Kiowa Island, and some
That's
other
on my
nice
list, bucket
properties.
list. Yep.
Yeah. Or disaster list, depending on how you view them. And right now I'm living about a mile from TPC Sawgrass, so
Awesome.
it's
There's
not
another
all
one on
bad.
my list.
Oh, you have not played?
Not yet. I've played a couple TPCs, but not Sawgrass.
Not that
Can't
one?
wait. Not yet.
Well, it's the thing I like about it is that it has nice ladies' tees. And that's because of Alice Dye, because she was a proponent of having good tees for the ladies. And here's Gary again.
Nope. He's trying to come back.
There he is. So for me, it made it much more pleasurable than, I'm trying to think. There was a Jack Nicklaus course at Kiowa Island, for instance. There was a par 3 very close to the end of the round. And for me, I had to hit farther than my 5-wood would go. And I wasn't sure if my driver would be straight enough to land on the green. And so that's wrong for me. That was a wrong place for the ladies' tee to be. It needs to be someplace where you actually have a club in your bag that you can use to get to the green with. So,
well, that's what I love about where golf is evolving. And with Bryson recently shooting 58.
Oh my God, yes.
He's encouraging guys, play off the front tees. Go shoot your best score. Get your confidence up. There's no more ladies' tees and men's tees. It's just different colors. So
Gary, who's now back, just played an event, and he was telling me that he played from tees that were a little bit more forward and shot a good score and enjoyed it.
There we go.
Yeah, it's a good thing we were up because the wind was blowing 25 miles an hour the second day. Honestly, I think we played it was the super senior portion of this Pennsylvania Senior Am, guys over 65. I think we might have played the regular ladies' tees, but we needed it. And it's like, why don't I do this all the time? It's so much more fun.
Yeah. That's it. Absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway,
so what's your career low anywhere, Andrew?
Minus 11. It was in a tournament on the Sunshine Tour, which is down in South Africa.
Yeah.
And it was the Zambia Open. And it was a par 73. And minus 11. I've shot 62 a few times. I think it's 6 times now. But the one was a par 73. So loved it.
Wow. That's just amazing to me. So I would like to be with somebody during a round when they shoot a number that low. You have to go back and recapture from them what they did, what clubs they hit, and whatnot. Just as a member of the media, I've walked with Fred Couples when he's shot some low scores, and with Davis Love when he won his 2nd time, I think, at the Players. And they just don't make many mistakes. It's really brilliant to watch, but it doesn't happen very often.
Yep. Get in the zone.
Tiger Woods showed us the secret of golf is don't make bogeys. No matter how bad you play, you get up and down from anywhere. You play horrible, you birdie all the par 5s, and you play lousy and you shoot 2 or 3 under. I mean, that's the secret.
I remember in that round, there was a couple back-to-back par 5s. And just before that stretch, there was a par 4, and I made a 10-footer for par. And after making that 10-foot for par, got on the next hole, made eagle, birdie the next one. Then I made another par, another eagle, and all of a sudden, I was 6 or 7 under. And if I missed that par putt, would have been a normal round probably.
Wow.
Well, let me get back to golf play just briefly. Who's number one? And you have a couple of guys who have played more than 2,000 rounds of golf, 2,000 golf courses. There's a lot of guys that play 2,000 rounds of golf, but 2,000 different courses. Who are these guys? Do you know them? Have you talked to the guy who's leading? What does he have a life? Is this all he does? What's the story?
You missed it while you were off on your tour. You kind of answered part of that, but go ahead, Andrew. Okay. It's worth repeating.
Yeah, well, the part that I did answer, I won't repeat, but the number one leader on the Golf Plate app is a guy called Daryl. Plays a golf course called Musgrove Mill in South Carolina. And I've met him in person. he jumped on the gold membership right away. He's like, I'm in. I want to get access to as many golf courses as possible. And he's a salesman, so he's always in his car, traveling around the country, takes his clubs wherever he can, and any free afternoon he will play around, and if not two. So
sounds a lot like a golf writer, actually.
he does do a little bit of ratings for the Golf Digest, as do a couple of our other users.
He must be good.
Yeah, he can get it around. He's about a 6 or 7 index.
Yeah, but that's good.
Yeah, no, he doesn't mess around. He plays quickly.
Right, and he's not, a 15 or 20 or 30 handicap golfer.
Yeah, but even if you were, I mean, as long as you play quickly, we don't mind.
What's the one golf course? If I was to come to South Africa, what's the one golf course I would absolutely have to play?
We got a couple special ones. The number one, Gary Player's designed the best golf courses in the country. The Linkshead Fan Court is absolutely stunning. That's where they played the President's Cup. Ernie and Tiger in a playoff, just absolutely amazing. Leopard Creek, another Gary Player designed golf course on the border of the Kruger National Park. They played the Alfred Dunhill Championship there, which I played a few times. Absolutely stunning. Then we've got the Gary Player Country Club, which is where they played the Nedbank Challenge, or the $1 Million, it used to be called back in the day. South Africa's got a rich history with golf. We had the very first $1 million first place prize globally. I remember,
that was Sun City, right?
Sun City. And Tiger came down and played, and a bunch of Americans came down to play. It was a very small invitational. So those are the top 3. And then we've got the wildest golf course in the world as well, called Skakuza, which is in the Kruger National Park, no fences, and literally go check it out on Instagram.
I would be nervous that a lion was going to come and eat me, or that a rhino was going to come and
never mind that. Never mind that. What are there, snakes?
Oh, we got everything. But there's nothing down the middle of the fairway, so if you hit it straight, you're fine.
Yeah, well, you need some guys out front spotting your ball for you, and they're disposable. They can be replaced. But then, hey, I found your ball next to a black mamba. Ow! Oh, okay.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
Andrew, what is it about South Africa? All the golfers I've known from South Africa, you, Louis Oosthuizen, Charles Schwartzel, the list goes on. Everybody, Ernie Els, they're all mellow, really nice guys. It seems to be, I don't want to compare you to Canadians who are always kind of jokingly called super nice and whatever, but there's definitely a trend there. What is it about South Africa that you turn out a lot of nice people?
We just laid back. Our culture, we enjoy the outdoors. We've got really good weather. The people generally are friendly. We have a lot of braais, which would be a barbecue, I guess you guys would call it, where you spend good quality time outdoors, cooking on an open fire, cooking meat, hanging out, and got some really stunning beaches. Golf courses are amazing. We've got 480 odd golf courses in South Africa.
That's a lot for a smallish country.
Small population, but it is a gem. So if you've never been to South Africa,
no, I've never been any place in Africa.
Well, golf played, that's one of my things that we do, is where have you played? Where do you want to play? Any golf trip in South Africa, we've actually got a couple spectacular itineraries on our website. And it's a bucket list trip. You'll have a great time.
I was just going to say, maybe you need to get into the travel business and start organizing, but you're probably already ahead of me on that, but organize a trip and get 12 or 24 of your clients to come down there, and everything's set up. You show up and bring your clubs.
Well, that's exactly what we do. So with our various levels of membership, obviously the gold membership now is our most exclusive. Our investors, we do have a black membership, which is, there's only 60 of those, of which 36 of those are gone. But the gold membership is also up there. And basically any top exclusive trip that I travel on or that we want to put on, We'll invite our VIP guests to join us. Recently came over for the Masters in April 2023. And then we played Sage Valley the week before, and it was spectacular. We played Augusta Country Club. So just the ability to host these really, really cool events through the Golf Blade members is something very special. So that, like I said, that gold membership is available. We got 100, so get on it. Let's go.
I saw that you also have some kind of an office or something in Atlanta. So do you go in and out of Atlanta when you come to the States, or do you go to New York or Miami, and how long does it take? I remember Ernie Els saying something about they always had to stop for refueling about halfway to South Africa. Does that sound right?
Not quite halfway, but they did used to back in the day have to make a stop or two. With the technology now, there's direct flights from Atlanta if you fly Delta. Atlanta is my USA base. After finishing college, I moved to the city of Atlanta. I was a member at Hawks Ridge, which is a fantastic golf course, Bob Cup design. Check it out. And the flight is about 14 and a half hours from Atlanta to Cape Town direct.
Wow.
So
what's that round trip ticket go for?
Well, it depends if you're going to fly up front or if you're going to fly in the back. On my lucky days when I was playing on tour, I used to use my miles and upgrade, but it's about $2,000 round trip in the back and about $5,000, $6,000 round trip if you're flying up front.
Well, you mentioned the bucket list on the app. Give me your 2 bucket list courses.
I've never played St. Andrews. Can you believe it? It's my namesake. I've been there. I actually caddied for a friend in the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship. Killed me walking down 16, 17, 18 and not having played there. And then Pine Valley. I need to get on that one. So I've had a few offers. I just haven't had the chance to get there yet. But my goal is to slowly but surely check off the top 100 in the world. And each year I'm going to try and put 2 or 3 of these trips together and then invite the Golf Blade VIPs to join and see what we can do.
Sounds great. I hope I upgrade from celebrity to VIP.
Speaking of joining, Gary, it's time
for our shameless plug, Andrew. It's click on subscribe. It's free. Nothing will happen. You'll just get emailed a new show.
Thank you, Andrew.
Very good. He went for the graphic. And click on like. What's it going to hurt you? We're just trying to build our database, or not our database, our customer viewing. With the long-term goal, we'd like to crack 17 cents in earnings. So I know we're aiming high. Help us out. Click on like, click on subscribe. And if you like golf at all and you like to play different courses, you need to check out Andrew's Golf Played. Great app. And I'm going to guess, since I was off this show for about 8 minutes when I lost the connection, this is probably going to be the best episode we've ever done.
We held our own.
Less is more, especially when it's less of me.
Well, Andrew, let us know when you're coming to the States. Maybe we'll all get together for a hamburger someplace.
Absolutely. I've played one golf course in Pennsylvania. I'll have to go on the app to double check what it's called. I forget, but it was with a friend of mine who was on the Sunshine Tour.
So I guess it wasn't Oakmont or Aronimink.
No, it wasn't those ones. This is why we have Golf Played. So I'm going to go look.
It's a great, it's a great list. It's a great reference material. It really is.
Yep.
Well, thanks for being on this week, and thanks to the viewers for watching. And I'll try to be here for the whole show next time.
Thank you, Gary.